For this video, I wanted to talk about something that I might have talked about before. I think I've spoken of it, but I never did go into detail. So, it really perplexes me that humans are cavorting about, going about their regular business, just nonchalantly, and on the other hand, you have people that make such a big deal out of one little thing. This person said this thing on that particular date. This person said that on that date. That person did this, that person did that. Or, you don't look the part, you don't sound the part, you don't act this way, you don't, we focus our all on certain things. Like, this person doesn't fit the part, so to speak, or that person doesn't do things just right. Meanwhile, humans will get extremely frustrated from what you see in cities. People get extremely frustrated because someone forgot to put foam in the top of their latte at Starbucks. But meanwhile, other people are starving on Earth, for one thing. But these tiny little things that people find so important, like, this dipping sauce is not good with this particular nugget, or this, we've all been guilty of that type of thing. But think about the universe for a moment. We think our problems are so significant, and they are to us. They are very significant to us. Somewhere in that, what looks like a network of networks, but somewhere in that spawn of galaxies is you and me, all of us, struggling to pay our bills, struggling to do our daily routines, our business, people struggling to go to school, struggling to get sustenance. Somewhere in that network of networks, of what it looks like, is someone struggling. But we think of our problems, and whether it's political or whether it is an argument, people think of their problems to be so significant. But did you know? Now, there are approximately, let's see how many, it's several tens of billions of neurons. And in the brain that we see, just several tens of billions. And then in the universe there are several billion galaxies that we can observe. But I'll have to look up the numbers, but in each one, in both the universe, observable universe, and our brain, only 30% of the mass. It's made of 30% mass. Let's see here. I think that's right. If I can get this to work. No, the 30% of the mass of our brain is what I'm trying to say. 30% of the mass of our brain is made of those billions of neurons. And then you look at the universe, and 30% of the visible universe, the perceivable universe, is made of galaxies. So both 30% of this universe and 30% of our brains are made of neurons and galaxies. So the galaxies are like neurons. Have you ever noticed that? That the galaxies are like neurons of a brain? And then if you look at the internet, this is a map of the Internet of Things on planet Earth. That's what it looks like. This network of networks and interconnected devices looks a lot like galaxies inside the universe, or neurons inside the brain. And it fascinates me to think that the same principles apply. There are certain principles, there are laws and principles, or rules and principles that guidelines, so to speak, that guide the laws of physics, and the same principles apply, similar to coding. The computer is either on or off, 0 or 1. These zeros and ones, and then quantum computing is a qubit, which is basically 2 sets of zeros and ones to carry out the tasks even quicker. A quantum computer recently solved 10,000 years worth of data in less than 2 minutes. It would have taken the world's supercomputers 10,000 years to accomplish. Now you'd think we could be using that type of technology for such great things to advance and help humanity, instead of total domination and control and letting chaos spread here. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. We just feel that and they are to us, they're very important to us, but human history, it's either 1 second or 1 hour. If you take all of human history, every bit of human history, and compact it down and comprise human history into a calendar, say you're looking at a yearly calendar, and you take all of the years of this entire universe and its entire cosmic events, and you put the human history down into that universe scale, our time only comprises of less than a second. Some say an hour, but I think it's more like a second. So we're like a microsecond, a fraction of a millisecond of the entire history. All of this world's accomplishments, philosophers, leaders, followers, entrepreneurs, physicists, astrophysicists, scientists, our beliefs, ideas, different various spiritual leaders, our different inventions and great inventors, philosophical individuals, our philosophers, so to speak, from Plato, Socrates, all of the inventions done from Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein's ideas and his theory of relativity, general relativity, these various theories and ideas, the scientific method, the scientific principles, and then which I am a believer in Jesus Christ, but it's hard to believe that entire period has only been 2,000 years in our modern history, 2,000 and some odd years, which amounts to a very minute scale, amount of time on the universal scale. But look at this map of the universe. I mean, look at this map of the internet, so to speak. And all of it's like a cosmic web. That's what the universe is like. Think of the universe, a series of galaxies intertwined in a web, and then the World Wide Web, a network of networks of data and information connecting devices using optical fiber cables, light frequencies, pulses of light. And then you've got our brain, motor neurons. You've got the neurons of the human brain that are interconnecting, allowing us to be able to carry out basic functions and for me to speak, for cognitive abilities, for our ability to the lingual department of our brain, for language. Now, the reason why I'm able to remember these things is the hippocampus department of the brain for long-term memory. Inside this skull are amazing things. The cerebellum, the cerebrum, our cerebral cortex, our areas of spirit energy, what many call the chakras, or our spiritual energy. Right there in the brain as well. I think it's at the parietal lobe. It's amazing, really, how deep and complex these things go. We are a source of energy. You, I am, we are. The energy. And then our brain cells. The universe. Think about that. Both the universe and our brain cells, both the universe and our brains are comprised of galaxies and neurons, both of which are 30%. 30%. Hold on. The dog was barking. I had to go. I had to see what's going on. But 30% galaxies and neurons. Our brain's comprised of 30% neurons, and this universe, our perceivable universe, is comprised of 30% galaxies. And inside those galaxies are billions of stars and planets. I mean, it is just amazing. And here on Earth, people argue and fight over mundane things. If you feel a certain way, or if you don't feel a certain way, or if you're this or that, or you're whatever. It's just crazy that all of the world's wars and reshaping of history, everything that has happened, great and small, accounts to a microsecond on the universal scale. I gotta think of it as like a universal bubble. The was, the is, and will be in that bubble. Now, I really have always thought of the multiverse and parallel and alternate universes and all that, which that right there, that's quantum physics, quantum mechanics, that is theoretical physics, but people think of these things so they don't really think about it. They think of it as just when people go about their daily business. They just don't even think about how complex life is. The micro-quantum world, the cellular level of your body, is almost like another galaxy, another universe inside your body. These cells are the meiosis reaction, the reactions that take place that inside your body when they're exposed to a new bacteria or virus, and then they react and contact each other and gather and assemble and try to attack it, and inside our body is all of these wars. Inside our body are these wars going on amongst ourselves, and these battles for the betterment of our body. And then on the inside of our body are trillions of this going on. It's just amazing. from the musculoskeletal system to the cardiovascular system to all of our body. From the eyes to everything. It's just amazing. And people, they don't realize that just like a device or computer, when something is going into our eyes and it perceives it upside down, the retinas have to turn it right side up for our brain, and our brain has to perceive what we're witnessing and turn it into a memory, and a cognitive response takes place. It's just people don't even think about on a daily basis how complex their body is, let alone how deep the celestial heavens are, the universe itself. The reaction having an equal and opposite reaction, the universe itself being this huge, the huge macro quantum world that people are seeing interacting with the micro quantum world, such as like your body or the cells inside your body reacting on a moment-to-moment basis, putting out that electromagnetic frequency, and how these electromagnetic frequencies around us interact and can cause issues with our own body's frequencies. But the fact that our body is constantly communicating, just like a network of networks inside your body, the cells telling each other what to do, and then the outside of our body is the radiating energy and frequency, and then the earth itself's magnetosphere, the magnetic field around the planet Earth, our magnetic field, and then connecting with the Earth, and the Earth's magnetic field connecting with that of the Sun, all the planets, the interplanetary system, the planets here in this our solar system, and that energy emanating from the Sun, and then outside our solar system is another system, another system, another system, another system outside our galaxy, and then those billions of other galaxies inside this universe. It's just similar to the cells in the human body connecting to the motor neurons of the brain neurons of the brain connecting to the human body, the body then connecting to the earth connecting to the magnetosphere connecting to the sun, a solar system, connecting to this galaxy, these galaxies of galaxies, system of galaxies, connecting to the universe itself, then connecting beyond. It's so deep. And yet, everyone thinks that their particular issues, their disagreements or squabbles, are the most important thing in existence. Humans think that they're squabbles. Over who'd you pick for this, who'd you pick for that, or what did you do then, what did you do then? What are you going to do? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? Our squabbles and disagreements and these crazy wars we get into. Our time is so short on the universal scale that it's just unimportant. Those mundane things are so unimportant. We need to be doing something that's going to be a betterment for the collective whole, the collective consciousness, for the future, not something that's continuously going to get in the way of better things, not the betterment that they promote, but what we know at heart is better. But anyway, it's amazing. Think about it. 30% of the universe we see is galaxies. 30% of the human brain is neurons. Galaxies are like neurons, and the brain cells are like galaxies. It's almost like the mind of God. The universe itself, an extension of the mind of God. Very interesting to just ponder. And I've talked about it before, I've thought about it a lot, but I just thought I would talk a little bit about it. Let me look that up really quickly. Here we go. The human brain functions thanks to its wide neural network that is deemed to contain approximately 69 billion neurons. On the other hand, the observable universe can count upon a cosmic web of at least 100 billion galaxies. But within both systems, only 30% of their masses are comprised of galaxies and neurons. Within both systems, galaxies and neurons arrange themselves in long filaments or nodes between the filaments. Finally, within both systems, both the universe and our brain, both of them, 70% of the distribution of mass or energy is composed of components playing an apparently passive role. Water in the brain and dark energy in the observable universe. That is fascinating. Think about that for just a moment. 70% of the distribution of mass in this and energy in this universe. 70% of the universe is dark matter, dark energy. 70% of the human brain is water. 30% of the observable universe is galaxies. 30% of the human brain is neurons. Very fascinating, starting from the shared features of the two systems. They studied this, the neural and galaxies and cerebral cortex and the cerebellum that I just talked about earlier. The goal was to observe how matter fluctuates, and matter fluctuation scatters over such diverse scales. A scale of 1 micrometer to 0.1 millimeters follows the same progression of the distribution of matter in the cosmic web, but of course on a larger scale that goes from 5 million to 500 million light years. These two complex networks show more similarities than those shared between the cosmic web and a galaxy or neural network and the inside of the neuronal human body. Neuronal body. Another interesting thought is, what if the Earth itself is a portal? What if planet Earth is a portal? Or the main portal or something? What if the Earth itself is a portal? That's just really fascinating. But yes, I'm still a believer. I'm a believer in the Lord, but I just find these things so fascinating. You can be both. I don't know why people think you can't. But the study was published, they said, by Frontier Physics and the Department of Neurosciences, Biomedicine, and the Movement at the University of Verona. The human brain resembles the universe. They studied it, and they said that surprising similarities emerged. One view of the universe and the other of the brain. Other scientists have studied the exact thing that I've been talking about. Here's a map of brain cells at the top left, or a brain cell, I should say. Brain cell, the universe, and the internet. And they said they all share, human brain cells, the universe, and the internet all have similar structures. They all work very similarly. Think about it. What if the universe that we're in is just one brain cell, or in the multiverse of multiple brain cells in the mind of God? Or what if one brain cell is, now I'm not proposing that as the main theory or whatever, but it's just interesting, but what if the brain, or because it has to be, we are a creation, so it's almost like an extension of God. We are created by the source, but the brain cell and the universe are very similar. Brain cells, universe, the internet. That's all I'm saying. Fascinating stuff. Just a little bit of information to share with you all today. It's amazing the similarities between the brain cells, the universe, and the internet. Thank you, and I hope this was informative and enjoyable.